Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the VULCAN Report. This is an intraday edition for the VULCAN Report, trading for Friday, November the 11th, 2016. This is a red alert, a double, triple, quadruple red alert. Get out of the Dow, get out of stocks right now. The Dow is about to collapse. You can see this super parabolic bar right here. This huge, no, this is not a huge parabolic bar, is it? Well, this one was. This was red once. What? Hold on. The Dow's not crashing, is it? As a matter of fact, it's pretty hot. That's a new all-time high. All right, scratch the red alert. Ain't nothing crashing but people's memories. I told you when this bar right here was happening during the election that night, when the Dow, basically dropped like a rock, that they weren't going to let the market stay down. Does this look like they let the market stay down to you? I told you so. All right, so now we're having a Take Back Friday where the market is just chilling, a little bit of profit taking, not much. Market's chilling. It's just hanging out. This is the Dow futures contract, as you can see, and it's just chilling, okay? Not a lot to talk about. However, this has to be dealt with. We talked about the pointer. We talked about gaps. Pointers are like gaps. So for pointers can take a much longer time period than gaps. Gaps are normally dealt with pretty much almost immediately, but pointers can take a while. Literally, they can take a while before they're reckoned with. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They don't always materialize right away, but they do materialize and they are tested. So just want to give everybody the heads up on that. The fact that the futures markets did this, and then by the time the equities opened, we were up in here. This creates, it's like a pseudo gap. So the equities are going to need to revisit this, and this is going to have to hold. And if it does hold, then it's good, because then it builds this enormous foundation for a parabolic run or a very powerful bull market. All right, if the support holds. If it doesn't, well, we'll save that for another video. All right, let's move on real quick because we don't have all day. All right, this is coming as some requests, so we're gonna just do, instead of doing our normal thing here, we'll use this intraday time to do some chart stuff for some requests. All right, this is JNUG, the daily chart. You can see gold is just getting spanked today. They're selling it. They need to finance their operations and save this dollar. And as you can see, the dollar is at 99 today. So this is helping to finance that. Crush the paper. That's what they're doing, crushing paper. Who knows how much farther this can go. It did dip below the weekly Kumo cloud, but I wouldn't be married to this situation. I'd be ready to reverse with the market when it does reverse. Here's the weekly chart real quick. This is some ramp. It's an elongated one. It takes time to build up to the ramp. Then there's stages before you just like that. So watch it. It could chill down here for a couple of sessions and then take off. All right. So that's where we are on the JNUG. Let's move right along to our next chart. Let's see. Here's one I've never covered before. Ticker symbol Charlie Echo Nancy X-ray CNEX. All right, this one looks really nice. This looks like the Dow chart a little bit, because here you gapped. I don't even know anything about this company, but it looks like it's moving with the Dow. Because here was that gap, and we didn't come down and deal with the gap, and then we took off, created another gap, and then another gap. This is like breakaway and runaway gaps almost happening in the CNEX. There are some folk in the trading room that's been riding the pulse waves on this thing, and you guys are getting paid this week, aren't you? Congratulations, on the pulse waves on this one. But this one looks really strong. We're overbought, and it looks like it's hanging out here, not testing any supports. So I'm saying that this is looking like it wants to lock in, and this is probably only the beginning of the run. You do have a support at 835. Should hold. You could get a wick that drops below it, but not a close, and that's good. As long as it can stay above the 835, you should be good going into next week. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Let's see. Ticker symbol F as in Frank, C as in Charlie, X as in X-ray. You should be able to see it at the top left-hand side of the screen. All right, yeah, breakaway and runaway gaps here. Wow, that's pretty powerful. All right, so it looks like CNEX a little bit, but these gaps need to be dealt with. So you filled the last gap here. Now you got to come down here and fill this one. Because of the shape of this bar here, be careful. This one may pull back further, at least enough just to test. Look for about 1251. All right, it should pull back to about 1251. 1251 should hold. All right, if it doesn't hold, then your next line of defense is 1186 support going into next week, and before it takes off again, and then this thing could easily blast past 15, 16, 17 next week. So FCX looks pretty good. It's bullish, overbought too, but trying to lock in something for next week. All right, this is pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky, man, is a mover. All right, so basically with Pretty Ricky, you should have been out of longs, and you should have been possibly looking to short it if you were interested. But your time to short is kind of running out a little bit. So, because right now you're getting ready to ramp up. This is Take Back Friday, and I do believe this is probably the last of this. This is the last bar. So Monday's bar should be an up bar. Here you are, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th bar. All right, and out of the last five bars, you got 4 down days. So we should be close to canceling out now. If you just looked at the daily chart, you would say no way, Vulcan. This is the beginning of something huge to the downside. This thing is going to zero. But when you switch over and take a longer term view, you can see we're right here on the ramp. And I told you about look at this thing. You got major bounces coming. Enough to lift this, like I said, to 12 bucks. And stay there. And 12 should be the new support. All right, 12 should be the new support by the time we get off the ramp. So just want to point that out to you. So do what you will. Market's oversold now. So we'll see how it acts. It could even dip below here temporarily. If it does that, it should give it a spring bounce like a pinball machine, like when you pull the lever back, then it shoots the ball up. That's what's Pretty Ricky is setting itself up to do. All right, let's continue. Let's go to our next one. All right. Here's UVXY, and it's catching a bid today with the Dow being down 93 points. Overhead resistance at 1960. That puts it into the Kumo cloud, and if it can break up out of the Kumo cloud, it goes to 30 and then 40, depending on how much momentum the stock market gets if it goes into corrective mode. So UVXY is definitely one to watch. All right, next we have its brother SVXY, and you can see that's down today because of what's happening in the stock market. So here we go. This is kind of where we are. It's still above the Kumo cloud, testing that trend line support at 72. Actually, no, the trend line support is at 71.61. So this is still overall sideways. So look at all 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th bar, and we're still in this range, in this zone. We haven't broken out. All right, but the funny thing is you're in a positive pulse wave position with support down at 64.82. So no real clear momentum on this one. You can see how this one broke the rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down days in a row in the SVXY before this happened as a result of the election. This is election stuff, so it's shaking off the election stuff, and it may even try to continue the down cycle. That would be interesting. So we'll see what this does. It has to make its mind at what it wants to do. Momentum's falling off a little bit, but we'll have to keep watching it and see what it does. All right, looking at the next one, TVIX. TVIX is cheap and it's catching a bid today, just like the UVXY. Overhead resistance is at 2131. I think we're just going to base out in these volatility shares until the stock market decides if it's ready to really get into corrective mode or not. All right, so until it does, we got to chill. All right, until we get a red alert or something on it, then we'll take a look at it then. But right now, this is where you are in the TVIX. All right, moving along, the next request, ticker symbol AG. First Majestic. All right, it's in a negative position because, like I said, the metals are getting smacked around today. But overall, it's still sideways. It's still in this long, drawn-out base. Okay, momentum coming off under the Kumo cloud of death. Overhead resistance at 972. Negative pulse wave. Right now, it's short. It's being sold. It's not being accumulated just yet, but this is one to watch because once you get a pulse wave in it, then you're going to want to have your powder dry and ready to reverse with the market at that time. Until then, though, you stay short until it reverses. All right, let's look at the next one here. All right, FAS. FAS is interesting. Moving with the Dow. Gap here that has not been reconciled. Then you got gaps here. All right. It filled it though. Then you have a gap here. Kind of filled it. And now here we are here. Support is at 31.71. Needs to hold on any pullbacks. But the market is bullish, and you want to, if you're long it, you want to stay with it until it stops. So this one is bullish though. All signs pointing up. Positive pulse wave, locked in bull trend, and that's what you got. Not a whole lot more to say than that on the FAS. Let's see here. That 28.37 support though should hold. That's the ultimate support for the move. All right, and then our last one is FFMGF. All right, this one is in an oversold position with strong downward momentum, negative pulse wave positioning, and it's well below the Kumo cloud. This one you stay, you can't short it because it's a stock below $5. And right now it's trading at 50 cents. So you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this is a accumulation candidate. I don't know too much about this stock, or the company as a whole, its strength. Is it a candidate for to be bought? Is another company going to buy this company out or something? I mean, the stock's always been cheap. I don't see where it's been more than $1. Let's look at the weekly chart. Maybe that's where I'll find it. No, see, I've only seen it at $1. That's as high as it's been, is $1. The highest close was 90 cents. Yeah, the highest close was 90 cents. Never gotten above that. So if anything, I would say right now, just looking at the history of this here, it's gotten low as 19 cents, and right now it's at 50 cents. I mean, to me, it's an accumulation candidate. But looking at this weekly chart, I cannot ignore what I'm seeing. Look at this ramp. First one's coming. The second one is a Lulu. That is incredible. This is enough power just in this secondary ramp to get this above $1 on a close. I'm thinking I like this one myself. I think I'm going to go ahead and get long this one. So, all right, trading room, you heard it from me. I like this one. I'm going to look at the pulse waves and see where the pulse waves are. But I like this one because of this ramp. It's going to take several weeks to get there. Hit the first one, and oh yeah, this is This is nice. I'm thinking about this for myself. I need to do some looking into it from a trading perspective, though. I need to see what the pulse waves are. Follow the pulse waves on this one. You know, don't just dive in it. But with a 50-cent stock, I mean, unless it's going to zero because the company's going out of business, I don't see why you can't back up the truck on this one. This looks great. All right. Anyway, that's all. So you guys know you have the pulse waves on each one of the tickers we just covered. Congratulations to the room for shorting gold this week, being long the dust, being long the JDST. If you caught that one, that was a little bit harder to catch. But definitely being long the DGLD and the DSLV. Good trades. All right, so remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can, give nothing back. Peace.